Hi, and welcome to the LesParis.com podcast. I'm Les. This podcast is a short daily monologue that you can listen to. Use it to practice listening to English. Use it to stimulate ideas. Use it for BGM.
Hello and welcome to the Les Paris podcast. If you're new to this podcast, I just talk about various topics for listening practice. And if you're returning, thank you for coming back. You're listening to episode 72. Yesterday we talked about festivals, and today we're going to talk about genetically modified foods. Genetically modified foods. Wow, that's a big one. Well, genetics. That's talking about genes and some new technology. It's not new anymore for finding out how cells make things. It's the blueprints for all living things. I have genes and you have genes, and they tell if I'm going to have this color hair or if I'm going to be that tall. So these genes can be changed now. Scientists have found a way to change them. That's modifying them. Genetically modified foods means we take some plants, usually plants, and we modify them by taking genes from other plants. For instance, one of the examples I read about was strawberries. They took genes from another plant that made something that could stop frost. So then they put it in the strawberry, and then on the cold nights when normal strawberries were freezing and going bad, these strawberries could stop the frost, and they didn't go bad. They could survive through very cold nights. Other types of genetic modification help the plants resist viruses, or they might put in more nutrients, so there's more iron in the rice. And that's what they've done with one kind of rice, so that it's healthier and better for people to eat. Some of them might change the plant so that it produces food faster or earlier. They have nut trees that don't take 8 years, they only take 4 years before they can start making nuts. So most of these modifications seem to be good, but a lot of people are concerned. If we change these plants, they're no longer natural, and what kind of problems might come out of them years later that we don't know are going to happen. So a lot of people are worried about genetically modified foods. But I was quite surprised to find out there's a lot of food that we are eating already that is genetically modified. How about you? Are you worried about these kinds of foods? Well, that brings us to the end of episode 72 on the Les Paris podcast. Today we talked about genetically modified foods. That's a pretty complex topic, and it raises a lot of questions that, frankly, many people don't know the answers to. Be sure to come back tomorrow for the next podcast when I talk about self-care, a very interesting topic.